In almost every discussion of high-end sports automobiles, one brand in particular is almost always mentioned. That brand is Ferrari. The renowned Italian brand has become associated with fluid, sinewy body shapes, racing-bred technology, careful workmanship, and tremendous horsepower. Have you ever imagined yourself being in one of these latest Ferrari cars? That would be so delightful. But have you ever asked yourself, how is this amazing car made? In today's video, we'll talk about how Ferrari is manufactured, so kindly stay tuned until the end of the video. Thanks. It's also associated with expensive prices. All of that go-fast deliciousness, as well as the aura that comes with it, will come at a cost. As of mid-2010, a brand new Ferrari California would roughly cost you around $192,000 USD. One explanation for this is that they do not come off the production line every few minutes like conventional Toyota and Ford models. Despite contemporary production and efficiency measures, Ferraris are not manufactured in the same way as mass-market automobiles. In the process, it will throw some light on some of the reasons why one of the world's most coveted automobile brands is also one of the most expensive. So let's say you've put a down deposit on your Ferrari, or at least you're dreaming about doing so, and you're eager to get your hands on it. But wait, eager buyer, because the first thing you should know is that Ferrari construction is never hurried. Let's go on a virtual tour of the Ferrari facility in Maranello, Italy to see for ourselves. The Ferrari campus is an homage to environmentally friendly workplace design. The factory is drenched in natural light thanks to a 1997 makeover by French architect Jean Nouvel, and it exudes modernistic atmosphere with its abundance of reflecting surfaces and indoor flora. Skylights let in natural light as part of an overall plan to keep employees happy and focused on producing the finest product possible. The plant even has its own foundry, where molten metal is molded into bits that will ultimately become engine components. This level of control enables Ferrari to closely monitor quality and pinpoint when and where each item was manufactured. That's a major benefit if a fault with the vehicle is discovered after it's been delivered. Casting engine components from molten metal used to require extensive apprenticeships on the side of workers. But today, it just takes about a week of instruction. The rigorous job of pouring precise quantities into a cast is handled by a machine. However, Ferrari employees are still craftspeople since engine components are finished by hand. Of course, the engine is the heart of a Ferrari, but the automobile must pass through numerous stations before it can be sold. The Ferrari manufacturing process. In 2009, a guy photographs a Ferrari California during an auto show in Beijing, China. The 5-day event included foreign automobiles, many of which were high-priced luxury models. Part of the Ferrari mystique stems from the brand's reputation for handcrafted craftsmanship and attention to detail by craftsmen and women rather than machines. However, robots do play a part in the Ferrari manufacturing process. They may be found in the engine shop where they perform the majority of the work to improve productivity and quality. There are also robots in the almost fully automated paint shop. Body shells are anti-corrosive treated before being treated with automated priming, painting, and baking methods. Workers, dressed in Ferrari red of course, assembled the different components by hand a few buildings away. This personnel installs completely built drivetrains, seats, dashboards, convertible tops, and other sub-assemblies in an assembly line approach typical of many factories. When business is booming, it's normal for automobile and truck manufacturing to run 2 or even 3 shifts to keep up with demand. However, at Ferrari, there is just one shift, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And there's no frenzied dash to get out of the building at 5 p.m. Employees walk away calmly, as though they're not in a hurry to leave the business that constantly ranks high on Europe's best places to work lists. And just like that, the automobile is almost ready. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks. The Ferrari F430, a V8 engine beauty capable of reaching speeds of less than 200 miles per hour, or 322 kilometers per hour, when finished, moves at a far slower rate during construction. For approximately half hour each, workers snap, bolt and fit in components unhurriedly at more than 30 stations. Cars with bigger V12 engines follow a separate path, yet remain right close to the V8 equipped cars. The V12s need around 1 hour per station. After the key structural, mechanical, and electrical components have been installed, the automobile is finished with trim pieces and inserts. For accuracy, leather upholstery is measured and cut by machines, yet hand-stitched for workmanship. A Ferrari California, the closest thing to a mass-market Ferrari, takes around 3 weeks to manufacture from start to finish. About 2,500 are produced annually. While it may seem to be a slow pace, bear in mind that part of Ferrari's attractiveness is its exclusivity. The firm only manufactures roughly around 8,500 automobiles each year across all of its variants. When compared to, for instance, the Ford F-Series trucks, which Ford manufactured 400,000 units in 2009. As long as you can pay, you may acquire a Ford F-150 immediately. In the case of Ferrari California, however, the waiting list is almost 2 years longer. Since Enzo Ferrari started making automobiles, the firm has built a reputation for race-bred engineering mixed with old-school attention to workmanship. Individualism and difference rather than uniformity are important to the organization. Having said that, Ferrari has made several attempts to modernize, increase quality, and expand into regions like China, where economic development has fueled a thirst for expensive products. Just don't expect to go into a dealership and walk out with one of these hot off the assembly line. At least, not immediately soon. Let's consider V8 as an example. V8 engine construction. The V8 assembly line is made up of 32 stations, with each person working on a different stage of the process. Ferrari's V8 engines are built independently from the V12s. The latter are more complicated and need more human care, thus they have their own line. GTC4 Lusso T V8. This V8 engine is slated for a Ferrari GTC4 Lusso T, a 4-seated vehicle with rear-wheel driving rather than all-wheel drive. The engine, which is aimed for urban driving, isn't as loud as the bigger V12, but it has been tweaked to generate an equally attractive sound. Factory mechanics. Each vehicle frame, this is a 488 Spider, is kept in place by a separate mechanical lift comprised of steel hooks. These are utilized to transport the automobile from one station to another by rotating the chassis and automatically adjusting it to the optimum height for the job. Door assembly. All Ferrari doors are composed of aluminum and are pressed and cut at the Scaglietti plant in neighboring Modena, 22 kilometers from Ferrari's main location. The doors are only affixed to a finished automobile body when it reaches the end of the manufacturing line. The propulsion unit. This is where the engine, gearbox, and suspension systems are attached to the underbody of the automobile. The engine is taken from the automated guided vehicle, AGV, that carried it through the assembly line and is fitted to the automobile body. Internal dynamics. Romeo and Juliet, two robots, fuse the valve seats that will go into the engines, a process too complex for humans. Juliet inserts metal rings into liquid nitrogen, while Romeo scoops up cylinder heads and heats them using compressed air. The pieces are then put together. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like, and leave a comment saying I subscribed, and I'll personally reply to all of your comments. Thank you so much for watching.